Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. My name is Leticia. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little about how not to shop. Or at least how not to shop that much, I guess. Or shop consciously, you might say. Conscious consumerism. That's what this is about. And this was not a planned video. I did do a short about it a couple of weeks ago, about this really overwhelming period of sales in November. Is Black Friday, sales, Christmas, everything together, and it can be so overwhelming. I know, I go through that too. Actually, sometimes the marketing even manages to make me feel guilty about like just purchasing shampoo that I actually need because mine is gone. You know, like it's just so much. It's just so overwhelming. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to resist it, or at least how to do it in a conscious way that you don't feel bad as much as we can. So if you're interested, keep watching. So we are going to talk about strategies. Number one, fast and quick video, okay? Number one, look at what you already have. You can call it being grateful, gratitude, whatever you want to talk about, however you want to face it, or you want to understand it or see it. But looking at what you already have when you are tempted to get something new is one of the best strategies, at least for me, to keep me away from purchasing. So as an example, lately I've been really diving into my cold colors palette, and as deep as I go, the deeper I go, more I want the cold colors, and I wanted to try to expand that to my makeup. And I discovered that I have actually a lot of warm toned makeup, blushes and eyeshadows, and I really that made me itch to buy some, palettes, eyeshadow palettes, to take advantage of this sale. And then I was like, but wait a minute, don't I already have those? And then I went to look in my eyeshadow collection, which I don't have a lot. I probably have more than a standard person that exists, and I'm much less than most YouTubers because I am focused on sustainability and conscious consumption, like we just said. So I have 5-6 eyeshadow palettes, and I don't use most of them. I don't touch most of them in my day-to-day makeup. So I was like, wait a minute, let me give some love to those. So I opened and I discovered that I already have 3, not very big, but 3 eyeshadow palettes nonetheless, that could help me with that. And here we go to the second point. If I purchase something that I was, dreaming about, and I was like, that could be optimal, that is exactly what I want, my dream thing, I should always check to see if I don't already have that. Because sometimes, most of the times I guess, we tend to buy things that we already love and therefore probably already own. So you will be rendering useless something that you already have instead of taking advantage of what you already have. So in my example, I will buy eyeshadow palettes that are cool neutral tones that are my dream. And then when they arrived, I would use only them, the new palette or the new 2 palettes that I would buy, and that would render useless the 3 others that could already do that job that I had. Are there differences? Yes, of course. The ones I already have, the 3 ones in my collection, they are not as high impact because they are not as high quality. They are more like drugstore kind of eyeshadows, which for eyeshadows, it makes a, good difference. But if I use primer, they will look more or less the same. So why don't I use what I already have? And when those are over, I can try and buy something high quality. Sorry, cat hair. That's my life, sorry. Why, right? Because the marketing is like inside my head telling me all the time that I have to purchase and that I have to take advantage because I will save. You won't save if you are spending, and you wouldn't spend. Then you're just spending and wasting, okay? And that's the second point, like you will be rendering something that you already have and could be useful, or you could find a way to use it in exactly the way you want, useless. And then that's just money spent, not money saved, right? And another point that comes out of this, the third point, is that sometimes we buy multiples. So it's kind of like the same as like a 2B actually, right? Like the point 2B. It's because we buy things we already like, so we probably already own. That one of the best examples of that is the white t-shirt. Like, oh, I love white t-shirts. Everyone loves white t-shirts. So you go, or shirts too, like that happens with shirts too. It's a very common example. So every time you see one, you're like, whoa, that's the perfect one. That's beautiful. I love shirts and white t-shirts or white shirts, and I use them so much. And then you buy another one. You end up with 10 of them in your wardrobe, which you don't use because you don't have 10 bodies. Even if you take a long time to do laundry, you're probably not going to use the 10 of them. And you don't have variety in your wardrobe in this example because you just buy multiples. That's not really making your money work for you, is it? Again, I don't recommend you to throw those away. We already talked about those kind of situations in another video. I'm going to link it up here. But it's trying not to keep repurchasing the same things because they're not going to add anything to your life. You already have that. Wait for those things that you already have, even if you like them and you really know that like that's your go-to. Wait for them to not be useful anymore, or like you finish them up in some way. If it's makeup, you pan them. If it's clothing, then they are irreparable. Whatever it is, wait for them to get to that point before you purchase something. Fourth, don't stock up unless you're 100,000 times % sure that you are going to use that thing and only that thing. Most of the time, for me, what happens is that I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this sale, take advantage of the sale, I'm gonna save money, and I'm gonna stock up on this thing. And when, let's say shampoo, okay? And I buy like 3 of them. I go through the first bottle, and by the time I hit the second bottle, I already want to try something different. Or my hair is in a different state, and I have to change the formula to something that, you know, might be better for me at a time. This is just an example, but it happens with everything that can be stocked.
Eliza's, toilet paper, I guess, but...
Besides that, it's like, most of the time you want to buy and try something new. But if you stocked up, if you do that, you'll be rendering useless something that you already have, or just spending money, or even feeling guilty, or even the worse, like you'll be like, I don't want to use this, and it will feel like a chore, like it won't be pleasurable, and you spent all the money already. So again, you're not saving, you're spending in this case, just burning money. Now, if you are going to purchase, how to maintain that to a minimum? First of all, budget. Do you have the money? Don't go into debt. Don't spend more than you can. And make a budget for all the things. So unless you're buying something, for example, an example here. Oh, I have to buy laundry detergent for my home, and it's over, or it's almost at the end, and I actually have to buy it. That goes to my budget of house supplies. But if that's not the case, even if it's laundry detergent, but I just want to try something new, but I have some that goes to your sales, November, Black Friday, whatever you want to call this budget is, right? Then this is a special budget that you should have done before, or you can look through your, finances and find that money if you have that. And let's say it's 100, 200, it doesn't matter. It could be $5. If anything special that you wouldn't buy if it wasn't on sale should go to that budget. And anything or everything. So it could be house stuff, clothing, makeup, because otherwise you will be justifying in your head, because you'll be like,
oh, but this is for my house, so I still have that money to spend in something else.
No, you don't, because you wouldn't buy that if it wasn't for the sale. Again, it happened to me. Coincidentally, my conditioner was completely over. My shampoo is almost over. Actually it's over. Anyways, I had to buy news to replace. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take advantage of the sale and I'm going to try a new brand. And I bought that. One shampoo, one conditioner, not 5 of those. I bought 1 pair. That's it. That is not the sales budget because that's something I needed and I was buying anyways. But things that are sale are things that you wouldn't buy if it wasn't for the sale and this period, all of that jazz. Okay? That has to come from the budget. So I won't teach you how to do a budget. You should know how you control your finances. But it's better if you have one for this period so you can spend guilt-free if that's what you wish. If you don't want to spend, then, retain this first part of the video and focus on that. If you are allowing yourself to spend a little bit, do a budget. The second thing is focus in what is wants and what is needs. Sometimes we wouldn't buy something even for the sale if it wasn't for the sale. Maybe we would wait a little longer, but it's still a need. Not many things are needs, but depending on, like, for example, if you have a job, you have to go to the office, makeup might be actually a need because you have to present yourself in a way. It doesn't matter if I agree or not with that, social rules and norms. If that's a thing for you, then okay, this is a need, right? But it's a need that might wait, like I might not have to do that in November. I could have waited a little longer. So if I'm doing it and if I'm buying it just because it's on sale, then it's sale budget, right? But some things are just wants, like
I don't need another red lipstick and I want one.
Do I have the budget?
Those are different things. And even if you have the budget, you might actually, again, as we talked about in the first tips, you might go back to are you going to add anything to your life if you actually buy that? Because for me, I might want one because, it's that attraction thing. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. Go back to the first tip and focus on what you already have. I already have 4 red lipsticks. Why would I buy another one of those? It's not going to add anything. But if I think about what I actually been wanting, in my daily life, things I actually, it's not a need, but sometimes personal example, I am doing my makeup, sitting in my vanity, and I'm I really wish I could do a red eyeliner, wing eyeliner. I tried with the eyeshadows I have and everything, but it's not there, so maybe instead of a red lipstick, what I should buy, if I have the budget and I want to spend with that, is a red eyeliner. That would actually add something to my life. I don't have anything. I tried using my makeup. I don't get the results I want. I'm not satisfied. It's not bringing me joy yet, So maybe that could add to my makeup. That could actually add to, my life experience. Not everything will. So you have to be careful not to give in that impulse and then be
I did it again. I bought another white shirt and I have a rack full of them.
But what I needed is a black cardigan.
You know what I'm saying? Be careful. And now that you have a budget, that you thought a little bit about it, you reflected, second point, we just talked about it, you reflected about what will add to your life, what is just a bare, impulse buy, a want. There is the wish list. Ideally, you should make a list. Even if it's mental, I don't recommend mental because, the mind can always play tricks on us. So try to write down, even if it's a to-do list or a block note in your app, in your cell phone, but really try to make a wish list because then you can even prioritize. You can be, okay, I'm just giving my examples, but you transfer that to your life. I've been wanting to try to have light or medium layers, merino wool layers to, layer my piece of clothing. I live in Canada It's like not a super need, but it's kinda, so like not super strong. I want to experiment with that.
Experimentation with fashion. It's linked up here if you didn't see the video.
But anyways, it's not a super need, but it's not 100% a want. It's like they're in the middle, could be in both categories. And then maybe the priority is one, and then maybe I'll be like, okay, but to use that kind of clothing, I'm personally a sweaty person and I don't want to ruin all my walls. So what I've been wanting to try is those shirts that have absorbent pads in the armpits. And maybe that's actually even high priority, because if I get one of this, maybe take advantage of the sale, maybe not. If I get one of those, maybe I'll be able to enjoy more the wardrobe I already have in future purchases, like we just said, like merinos or shirts and other things like that. This is just an example. So that's the kind of thing it makes purchase into a conscious consumption. It's something that you actually reflected, it actually fits in your life and actually brings you value. It's not just money that will be translated in an object that is going to be just hanging there and do nothing for you. It's money.
Which, money is what you gain after spending your time. So it's your time, it's your life that you spend to get that money.
That will actually turn and reflect into something that add value. Probably maybe joy into your life, which is much better. Don't we all agree with that? So all of those strategies is for you to shop more consciously. Another way to do that is actually, and not be disappointed with what you get, is actually shopping consciously, researching about brands and products. So sometimes you'll be very, very tempted to buy something just because it's very cheap right now. That happened to me. So I don't mean to speak badly of any brands, but for example, I've been wanting to try ColourPop, a makeup brand that is a little on the cheaper side, for a long time. And then I was like,
perfect palette!
Again, that example. The taupe grace eyeshadow palette of my dreams. And then I didn't buy it. I went to watch videos and research about it. Even if the sale period ends and I haven't decided, then I'm still not losing anything.
I'm doing them a favor by purchasing. So take your time and do research.
Going back, I digress. I went to do my research and I actually noticed that the quality of ColourPop is higher than a drugstore, but not as high as I want to go. When I buy the Dream palette, not the Natasha Denona Dream palette, if you're familiar, like my Dream palette, I wanted to be very high quality. I wanted to be like the one that rules overall. And maybe the ColourPop one is not the one for that, because I will still have to use the primer. So why don't I just use the one I have? See, that type of research, actually, that saved me money, saved me impulse purchases. Right? I still might buy something for ColourPop, like I was saying, maybe the red eyeliner, but then that one, I'm sure, will add something to my life, of course, after I research it. And now the last part of this video is for those who are really, really, really having a hard time, like me, resisting to the impulse and to the marketing. First, embrace minimalism. Remember that most likely your house already has lots of things in it. You already have many things and you most likely don't need more, right? Remember that everything should have a place and you most likely don't have a place, or it is a good place for everything you already have. Why are you getting even more? I'm not saying everyone's like this, but most people are. If we talk about, general Americas, we buy a lot, arguably much more than we should. You probably don't need any of that. So embracing minimalism here is more like reflect about what you already have. It goes back to our first point of the gratitude.
It's not just like, hippy-dippy gratitude.
No, it's serious. Like, take advantage of what you already have. You already spent those researches. It's already here, available to you. Be conscious and actually, actively thinking about do you need it? Your money is precious. Don't spend it with anything people want you to buy, because that's all internet. Like, they want to sell you something. Everyone wants to sell you something. Be careful. Be careful where you spend it. Do you actually need it? Look around you. You probably already have a good house, you know, a good place where you live, with things that you probably don't need more of. And maybe you actually need to save to get things that are more important to you. Maybe you want to do a down payment in a house, on a car, whatever, right? Think about those stuff. Like, make those your, carrot, so you can follow and go towards that one. Your dream, your objective. Remember those. Another good strategy is to unfollow and unsubscribe. Yeah, I know it's tough, but it's tough because they have access to you. So it's emails, messages, Instagram advertisements, YouTube advertisements. They are everywhere, and we are on our phones all the time. So unfollow and unsubscribe those emails. I've been noticing that in the past week, I usually have 30 new emails every day. I've been having almost 200 emails every day. It's insane. That will get to you. That will get to me, to anyone. So unsubscribe and unfollow accounts in Instagram if they are being bad for your mental health, because all of that pressure is bad for your mental health. It causes anxiety. It causes mental, not problems, not that drastic, but it makes you feel bad, right? So unfollow, unsubscribe. Best thing you can do. And again, try to focus your energy in other things. Go for a walk. You don't need to stay in your phone letting them shoot you advertisements, right? You're paying them as you spend your time looking at advertisements. Why are you doing this? Go take a walk, go play with your family, friends, dogs, pets, whatever you have, or alone, go play a game. Even if it's in your computer, don't keep browsing, go do something else, go learn a new hobby, practice arts, crafts, whatever. Spend time DIYing. Maybe instead of buying things this holiday, you DIY them. You will do something that only you can do in the way that you can do, and give it to the people you love and like, right? Period. Go do something else. Go enjoy your life. You don't have to spend your money. And even if you do it consciously, right? You're not alone. We're here. Everyone's going through this. If you want to resist, I'm sending you good vibrations, and I'm trying very hard here in the side too. And let me know in the comments how you're doing. Positive energies. Thank you for liking, watching, commenting, subscribing, all that jazz. I hope this video helps. And most importantly, I hope you have an awesome day. See you in the next one. Bye.